what is up guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. We are diving into another Departures magazine. This is the March-April 2021 edition. This is spring style, and I was really excited about this one because it features an article about Stanley Tucci and kind of his experience in, well, it says, on eating well, aging gracefully, and always staying curious. I thought this would be a really cool one to look at, so I was really excited. I also kind of took a quick spin through here, and there are some really great watches in this edition as well, so I'm super excited to jump into those with you. This one, for some reason, didn't travel very well in the post. You can see there's a little bit of a nick there, and then the back is also kind of messed up, but it doesn't matter. We're going to take a look at the watches inside of it, as we always do. Without further ado, I will stop rambling and switch perspectives so we can take a look at the watches in this version of the Departures magazine. All right, let's take a look at the spring style Departures edition. This is the March and April 2021 version. Like I said, it's a little bit, some nicks in here. It didn't really travel very well in the post, but it's here. We're going to take a look at it. Like I said, Stanley Tucci has a really beautiful article where he kind of talks about lifestyle and various topics, which I will go over. So let's just dive right in. So again, I think the focus of this magazine was really on style and fashion, and so you can see obviously there's fairly runway-esque fashion advertisements here, but there are some more muted things that are a little bit more interesting. I thought this was a very loud kind of display here from Dolce & Gabbana, which I thought was cool. But we are here about watches, and that is exactly what I wanted to talk about here. This was arguably one of my favorite watches in this magazine. This is the Breguet Tourbillon 7047 Tourbillon. An absolutely masterfully created watch, and I'm so glad that they did this two-page spread here. Like you can see in the image here, this is the watch itself, so you can see that you really got the integration of the movement and the dial and the display of this watch a lot. You can see the dial is smaller and down at where normally 7 o'clock is, and you've got this really beautiful tourbillon at where 1 o'clock typically is. I love the finishing on this. It's got this really really beautiful gray finishing there, and it really goes well with how they've how they're advertising this. So a really beautiful first watch to start off with. More kind of fashion related things here. Van Cleef & Arpels obviously does a lot of advertising here as well. Really beautiful modern home here, which I thought was quite nice. Moving forward, we can kind of go to the next watch that we find, and that is these three Harry Winston watches. They are obviously quite loud. They're made for female clients of Harry Winston. Obviously you can see a lot of diamonds there, but I thought the dials itself were very very loud, and were definitely they're definitely a statement piece. They probably can only be worn with specific outfits, but really nice. You've got a kind of like a light blue turquoise color, a red version, and then a really nice dark blue version there. Moving forward, we can kind of see some more kind of advertisements for fashion related things. I know that you're kind of here for watches, and that's what we got here. This is an advertisement from Hublot. This is their Big Bang. This is their Big Bang chronograph. This is 18 karat gold King Bang with ceramic case and chronograph movement. And it's a very, very, it's that sports watch feel in I believe that's yellow gold. I'm not the biggest Hublot fan. It's just not a watch that really I would wear, but I see the appeal, and I know why people would like it, so each to their own, right? Moving forward, there's a letter from an editor, some more fashion related articles here, and then you have this obviously Richard Mille is another kind of reoccurring face when it comes to this magazine, but this was a cool one. I actually hadn't seen this type of watch before, and this is the RM7102. It is a tourbillon, so if we can turn it here so you can see it a little bit better. So what you actually have is this really beautiful tourbillon at 6 o'clock on this. Obviously you've got these, you know, all these jewels and very different colors, and it's for sure a statement piece, but I thought it was a nice change from what you typically see from Richard Mille in this magazine. So, and of course we have the old faithful. This RM72 has been advertised in this magazine a ton, so don't really have to go over it, but this was another one of the watches that we saw, that you see in this magazine. Moving forward, we have some articles related to fashion, and there's an article in here that I thought was really cool to see, and that was, I believe it's coming up here, let me see, is this Time and Again advertisement. So if we look here, you can kind of see, obviously, this image I thought was really cool. So this here is a Patek Philippe, but what they've actually done is they've taken the numerals from a Panerai, looks like, and then you've got this vintage Daytona look here, but it's got the night sky, and then down there you have the Monaco. So I thought that was quite an interesting image there, to kind of you know, obviously go with this article. But what this article basically talks about is how pre-owned watch selling has become very popular. You know, sales of pre-owned watches are booming, and now some watchmakers are getting in on the action. They talk about some of the records that have been posted. You know, specifically like Nautiluses and about the Hoyer Monaco. And then they talk about some of those pre-owned dealers, like down here they talk about Crown and Caliber and Chrono 24, and how it's really been a booming couple of months for them. And then they talk about how some brands are actually getting into selling their own pre-owned watches. As an example, MB&F has started to do that a little bit more, where they're kind of selling those watches. So a really cool article about watches that I thought went really nicely with this magazine. Moving forward here, I think there was a little bit of a lull on the watch front here, but I did want to kind of stop at that Stanley Tucci article once we get there. But I'll kind of just keep going through this, and just going back to that pre-owned watch idea. I think it really has become very popular, and one of the things that they mentioned was how pre-owned watches really don't lose as much value as maybe people think. Would think if you compare it to something like cars, and so that was, I thought, was a fairly interesting point. Again, fairly nice, you know, houses here, and some really beautiful cabinets that you can buy. And then we have this Table for Tucci article, where they basically go into his motivation in life, some of the things that he's done in fashion, and his career as an actor. I thought it was really cool, at least in this beginning part. Is one of his main points was like, people shouldn't try so hard. You should be a little bit more easygoing, allow it to kind of come to you. And I think that's kind of towards his point about aging well, is like, don't try so hard. Act 60 is how old he is. They call him a mixologist. I thought this was really cool. I follow him on Instagram, and he does some pretty cool things on there, where he actually makes some really nice drinks, and kind of gives a tutorial on how to do that, which I thought was really cool. Another thing that he's also they kind of mention here is that he is doing this documentary on CNN called Searching for Italy, and it's been a really cool thing. I've watched a couple episodes, and it's been really cool to see him basically travel around Italy and experience the different foods that the different foods that are produced in Italy. I mean, pastas, and absolutely, I mean, the pasta one just for me was incredible. I love pasta, so it was really cool to see. So if you haven't seen the My Life Through Food series and his kind of like Searching for Italy versions of it, I would highly recommend checking it out if you have the time to. Too bad I didn't see any watches on his wrist here, unfortunately, so nothing to comment about there, but still a really cool article. And I think we might have reached the end of the watches in this magazine. Wow, just look at this. It's really crazy. Oh wow, some nice tortoises there. So I think we reached the end of the watches side of things here. Again, very kind of fashion oriented magazine, but quite a few watches, surprisingly. This was the only other watch I saw, and this was kind of cool. So this image here, you can see, is kind of like a casual look, but you can see that she's kind of wearing a more dressier piece, and I actually have kind of been pushing that a little bit. You know, if I'm having a casual day, maybe I'll throw on like that the Patek Philippe reference 2594 that we have listed on our site, because I actually kind of like the kind of mesh of a casual look and like a more formal watch. I think it kind of gives your style a little bit of a different kick. So and I think that was all of the watches that we have here. Again, I apologize for the condition of this magazine. It really did not travel very well, but a really cool magazine. This has probably been my favorite Departures magazine so far, so you should check it out, and I hope you guys enjoyed kind of looking at some of the watches. Let me flip perspectives so we can close out the video. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at the watches in this version of the Departures magazine. It was a really great one. I love the story on Stanley Tucci. I also love the story about pre-owned watches that was in there. If I had to pick one of the watches out of the magazine that I enjoyed the most, it would probably be that Breguet from right in the beginning. It was a really beautiful watch, and I just love the construction. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing this version of the Departures magazine. If you haven't seen our other videos where we go into the Departures magazines and look at the watches inside of them, there's a playlist on our channel. You can check those out there. And if you are new to the Life on the Wrist YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on hit the bell icon so you're notified when we upload, because we basically create videos about watches, any topic you can think of. That's exactly what we're doing. So if you wouldn't mind doing that. Also, if you did not do it in the beginning of the video, be sure to smash the like button for us for the YouTube algorithm, so that these videos can get to more watch enthusiasts who would love our content. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.